Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me today. This is a card I have to share with you. It's a hand stamped background. It's a poinsettia background that I've just stamped and it's really easy to do, and I've actually just used one stamp and one leaf to create this whole background. So let me show you what I did. I've got here a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 14.35 centimeters by 10, and the stamp set I'm going to use is this one called Modern Garden, and we're going to use this flower, the sentiment and the little leaf from here. So we're going to stamp here our flower in real red ink, and you're going to see here I'm just going to stamp it and really press down, get a good impression, and I'm going to just, there we go, I'm going to try it again, there we are. And I'm going to keep turning the stamp around so it doesn't look as if it's the same stamp being repeated all the way down the paper. And because the stamp set is clear, you can re-stamp something if you think you didn't get a good impression. Just lean over and get your head right over the stamp, and so you can look down straight through the stamp and it's not difficult to do. You can see me here twisting the stamp again. And I'm just going to cover this back page, this background, in this one flower. Now there is a variety of flowers in the stamp set. You could use lots of different ones to create a varied background. You could have used different ones, but I actually quite liked the effect here of just using the one. I think it came out rather well. And you can see here me just twisting the stamp to find the way that it can fit in, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. And as you keep twisting it as well, it doesn't look always like the same one repeated. It doesn't look like a geometric pattern. You can see here me just filling in some of the edges. Look at that, isn't that lovely? I really love that deep red. It just says Christmas to me. I'm very much a red and green girl for Christmas. Are you? What are your favourite colours for Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. Now I'm just going to use this little green here to do my foliage. And I think this really does make the card. Foliage really does offset flowers just so beautifully. Not just in stamping but in real life. The green against whatever flower you've got really just helps to frame your flowers and make them look absolutely gorgeous. Now I should say, if you're enjoying this video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. It really does help my videos become more visible on YouTube and that of any content creator. And if you do like the video, I'd be grateful if you could subscribe. Okay. There we go, we're nearly finished with our leaves. And you can see how this really just brings the whole design together. And you can see here, just looking for spaces where I feel it needs a little pop of green. And there we go. No, found another one. There we go. Give it a clean up and we'll be done. So now, while I've got my ink pad out, I'm going to stamp my little sentiment here. And you can see there. I'm going to stamp that again in garden green ink. And now I'm going to use this little dots from Petal Park stamp set. And this is just tiny little yellow dots that I'm going to use again. And I've just used here some Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry. I can't remember which one I've got. But all of my supplies are linked below in the description box. You'll also find them all on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are also in the description box below, so do check all of that out. This is actually a card we made recently in my card club, and I host a card club here in North Lincoln in the UK. So if you're in the area and would like to come, you can find the details how to book on my website. And if you're not local, don't worry, I also host a monthly online card club in my Facebook group, so you could join in with that too, and you'll also find the details for that on my website. Okay, so now we've stamped our little bit of yellow. Now I'm just going to colour in my flower centres, and I'm using this with Daffodil Delight, and this is the Stampin' Write markers, and these are our original markers, and they're a water-based marker, so you can actually stamp with these markers as well as colour in with them and paint with them. So very versatile, I think. And you can see here I'm just going around everywhere and just colouring in the flower centre, and that's because there wasn't a flower centre in the stamp set that I wanted to use, so I'm going to just go rogue and use my own. And you can see here I'm just doing that. There's the last one all done. I do love it, it's just so pretty. But now I'm going to use my crushed curry, and I'm just adding a few dot details in the centre of my flowers, and this is just to add a little bit of added interest and to make it look a little bit more realistic, give it a little bit of depth and dimension. And there we go, there is our background, a hand stamped Festive Flower background. Isn't that great? So now we're going to bring the whole lot together in our card. So first we need to cut out our sentiment. So I'm just going to use my trimmer quickly to do that. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I love using my trimmer to cut out my sentiments. I do this all the time rather than using any sort of die or punch. It's usually my favourite thing is to go for my trimmer, and the more often you do it, the better you get at judging your sizes and making sure you cut straight and all that sort of stuff. So now I want to have a band here of our lovely gold foil sheet, and I'm just measuring how wide I want the band to be compared to last time. And you can see here it's about an inch, or a bit more than an inch, but you can just make this whatever you want. I think I made that somewhere in the region, it was originally somewhere in the region of on the original about 3 centimeters, but here I'm doing it more at about 2.5, something like that. Okay, you can see me faffing about with it. I was just worried it wasn't totally straight, but I think it is. Enough is as good as a feast. Alright then, so now we're going to put this in the centre of our card, and I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the back, and then I'm going to just stick this down, and I'm going to cut off anything that hangs over the edge, and this way I know it's going to measure exactly the right length. So cut that off, save that bit for later, and now we're ready to make our card. So let's bring in our card base. Our card base here is garden green, standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. I'm going to stick down our piece here on the front, and then I've got for the insert another piece of basic white that measures 14.35 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So we're just going to stick that there on the inside. Lovely. Now we're going to take our sentiment, and we want to just pop this up on some dimensionals. So I'm just going to be using the edges of my dimensionals here, because I've got to the end of my sheet, so it's all good dimensions, so you're going to use it all up. So let's take the backings off, and then struggle with that. I hate taking backings off dimensionals. I don't know if you do. Always wants to go everywhere. There we go, stick that down. There's our original card. I love how they turned out. I hope you do too. So thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.